Okay,
I am not doubting.
Apostle Dr. Kassy, can you make it
Yes.
clear to us? Because you were once among, I can put it, participation, because your involvement in this issue, the way you narrated it to me, is that negative? It was that narrative of maybe this woman, they don't kill her, not to get truth of the missing child. You were the one that brought it to light. That was what even make this thing come to light. That this woman you guys are saying is dead. It's not dead though. More than not, they put that one for that kind. But a lot of people miscalculate it. I know that, go. Are you still convinced, or are you going to tell the general public? What do you think from your heart? Those are the questions I really want to ask you from your own platform. You sure say from your heart, this speaking not a loss.
Greetings, people. It's Mr. Pull the Trigger yet again on another episode of the Enlightenment series. So, Apostle Dr. Kassy has cleared the air that he has given reasons as to why he cannot pursue this case of baby testimony, this case involving Jeremiah Omoto, this case of Sister Ruth Matthew versus Jeremiah Omoto. And the reason why he came out to make that publication or to distance himself from this case is because Dada had called him out to say, why did Kassy drop out? Why is Kassy no longer advocating for justice for baby testimony? And the reason why Dada called out Kassy on his previous broadcast, it followed the previous analysis that we had done of Dada's post, in which he had also said that he is calling it quits, he's throwing in the towel, he's no longer interested in this case of baby testimony, he will never talk about this case anymore, he's done. After he made that post, we came up with an analysis and then we asked him questions as to why did you drop out, why are you dropping out? And he responded again to say, listen, I did not even mean to drop out, I'm not going to drop out, I'm going to fight through this case, I'm going to keep on advocating for baby testimony's justice. I'm going to keep on raising awareness for justice for baby testimony. And he justified the reason why he had put up that post to say, I had put up that post so that I can test people to see if people are really for baby testimony or people are just after Jeremiah Omoto's head. That was his justification. His justification can mean a lot of things. It could have been damage control because of the pressure that he got from his followers, or it could have been something else. And in his video, he also went on to say he's going to keep on talking about baby testimony. He's not going to give up on the case of baby testimony, but he has exceptions to it. There are terms and conditions. And some of the terms and conditions that he gave to his followers are, I'm going to keep on talking about baby testimony, but we will never mention Jeremiah Omoto's name while we are fighting for baby testimony. He's still coming from the angle of asking the question, if the baby is missing or if the baby is not missing. That is his point of entry to this case. He's still of the belief that there are chances that the baby might not be missing. He's not yet convinced or that the baby is actually missing. So that's his point of entry. So to him, he's saying, I don't want to talk about Omoto for fame anymore. But on that, let me advise my brother. On this case, if you want to do justice to this case, you can never advocate for justice for baby testimony without bringing Jeremiah Omoto into question. And let me bring something to your attention. We are not attacking Jeremiah Omoto. We are not after or against or trying to pull down Jeremiah Omoto. Let that be clear. When you see people commenting and venting out their emotions and calling out Jeremiah Omoto, it's not because they hate Jeremiah Omoto. Nobody hates Jeremiah Omoto. On a bigger scale, people are just tired of false prophets. People are just tired of these falsehoods. People are just tired of these deceptions, manipulations, and this entire prophetic movement that is not of God. They are just tired. Sometimes you see them expressing themselves in a way that you think they are attacking Jeremiah Omoto. They are not. They are just asking Omoto basic questions, the same way that I'm asking Omoto basic questions. To say, Omoto, the church is yours. The child went missing in the premises of your compound. The child went missing near your establishment. Is it near or inside your establishment? Inside your establishment. Baby testimony was abducted inside your church premises. With that being said, there's no one else we can ask questions other than Jeremiah Omoto for fame. No one. We have not gotten to the point whereby we are saying Jeremiah Omoto is the one that abducted baby testimony. But if we put all the pieces together, and if everything points out to Omoto for fame, then we'll be left with no choice but to come to that conclusion that he is the kingpin of the syndicate. And the reason why people now are of the belief that Omoto is involved is because of his silence. You don't be silent in a case like this. Osinachi died. Eneshe came and he gave a public statement to say he was not aware of the abuse that Osinachi was going through. It was not made aware to him. That's the right thing to do. Even though Eneshe is also a false prophet, but he did the honorable thing, the right thing that should be done when something of this nature happens. A baby cannot go missing in your church premises and you do not give a statement and you do not explain the side of your story. A baby does not go missing inside your church premises, and when the mother of that baby starts calling out for help, you deploy police to go and arrest the mother, harass the mother, and start prosecuting the mother unjustly. You don't do that if you have nothing to do with the abduction syndicate. These are basic questions that we are asking Mr. Omoto for fame. We don't hate him. What did he do to me, Jeremiah Omoto? Oh, he also orchestrated my arrest. Maybe I might say I have a reason to not like him. But my heart is pure. I don't have anything against him. I'll make him pay for that he did, for his arrest that he orchestrated with his friends to get me detained. But to the general public, they are just concerned about baby testimony. They just love baby testimony. They just have this love for humanity. And it's normal to have this love for humanity. That's what humans should do. They should care for each other. You should be a brother's keeper, my brother. My sisters, you should be a sister's keeper. We cannot tolerate, we cannot allow a child to be missing and then we do not voice out. Who's going to voice out for baby testimony? Tomorrow it's your child, my sister. Tomorrow it's your child, my brother. Tomorrow it can be my child when I will have a child. And if people do not raise awareness about it, if people do not fight for justice, then what world are we going to live in? There are people that should be held accountable to this. We have Emmanuel Marcus. Jeremiah Omoto could have put this guy, he could have imposed enough pressure on this guy for him to break and tell us if he's the one who's responsible. We have Juliet Omoto. If he wanted, he could have exerted so much pressure on this young lady and she could have broken and told us where baby testimony is. We have Precious Lungu who has recently surfaced. If she has nothing, if Jeremiah Omoto has nothing to do with it, he could have put Precious to question. But Jeremiah has protected all these people. So if you protect these people, if you shield these people, who should we ask then? Should we go and ask Oyedepo? Oyedepo has no clue about what happens in Omoto's church. Should we go and ask Papa Adeboye? He certainly has no clue of what happens in Jeremiah Omoto's church. So the only person we can ask is Jeremiah Omoto for fame. He has the duty of care. He's obligated to that duty to make sure that everyone in his premises is safe. In the case that injury falls upon anyone within his premises, he is the first person that will be on the front line of accountability, who should report and who should assist and who should protect, compensate anyone who has suffered the loss in his premises. Because that these business institutions, he makes profit from that institution. So he is obligated to the duty of care. So we can never exclude him from this case. I have taken so much time addressing this issue, but the purpose of this video was on Apostle Dr. Kassy, who has recently came out to say that he's distancing. He gave his reasons as to why he's distancing himself from the case of Sister Ruth Matthew and the baby testimony. Before I comment on the video, and I told you the reason why he came out to distance himself is because Dada had called him out to say, why did Kassy drop out? So he came out a few hours later and then he made this statement. Let me let you listen to what Kassy had to say before I give you my peace of mind or before we advise. Apostle, Doctor, Kassy Chuku, Akara, how? Listen, the lion killer. Listen to him.
No, nobody paid me. Nobody paid me. Just I just saw some light and I saw some truth. So I decided to back up.
Nobody.
What
Okay.
are you looking for? You are
Baby
looking for
testimony.
baby testimony.
Yes.
You already found baby testimony.
Where? Here we don't see baby testimony.
Okay, very simple. A mother came out and said his child is missing.
Yes.
And we all heard the story. You remember I called attention of those same bloggers.
Yes.
All bloggers all over the world.
Yes.
Now, the story began to change from the first narrative. See, I am a man of integrity. The story began to change. What you told us, the world, the public, was not what we were hearing in your second version. Now, bloggers, we are not helping issue because bloggers feel that I'm having issue with Prophet Jeremiah. So anytime I do a video, they will twist the video, they will twist the title, they will twist the narrative to look as if I was attacking Prophet Jeremiah, which was not good. Some bloggers does not know how to, before today now, you are going to see a different topic that's going to follow this video. Different topic that you will even be afraid at what is happening. So the bloggers, we are not helping issues. The bloggers, we are carrying when we talk about where is the baby, the bloggers will talk, Pastor Kassy said, Jeremiah is with the child. You bring the child. Oh, Pastor Kassy has come out, has cried out. Pastor Kassy has, so many things. Then, when a story came up, you remember I did a video after listening to Ruth Matthew. And I came out, I was so disappointed.
I blocked the video too. I blocked it. It too.
I was so disappointed. Like, if you have to see how I feel. You have to know how disappointed I am. What? This story, you told us a story. Now, you told us a story that you took a child to the church. That while you took the child to the church, you gave the child to the Sunday school teacher, the female Sunday school teacher. Why you gave the child to the female Sunday school teacher? That you came back and you were in the office with Prophet Jeremiah. When you came out of the office, now you were not asking the girl, where is my child? The girl now said, 2 women came and carry the child. Anybody who is intelligent, like hearing that story alone was like, we should not go far. Let's ask the lady, where is the child? What did we get to hear again? The next story we heard was, so a woman came and said she want to buy Indomie. And I asked my son to go and show them where they are selling Indomie. And I now ask the small one to follow them. Dada. No matter what. Sometimes we listen to stories. What happened to the first narrative? Now don't forget that you have received insult in these issues. Why? Because if you are not careful of what you are seeing out there, you will end up buying a job that is not your own. That is why anything you see out there on social media should be well investigated. And I'm so happy for the role you were playing.
That's why you see any video that concerns baby testimony with the tear apart from my platform. With the tear up, we go bring out the raw video. Because it must be investigated. It must be investigated.
Yes. So as I was saying, when I saw this second story, that how will you have sent your child to follow somebody, and your child, the other one, came back without the child? Dada, make I ask you, who you suppose ask your pikin? No be the woman where you send go buy Indomie.
Those are the straight questions. That is the straight question. No, not be saying, you can put it on the public domain. That is my straight question.
Yes, these are my thoughts. So when I back up, people say Jeremiah has paid it. He's afraid of Jeremiah. Is this and this? Hey, Jeremiah has settled Kassy. This and this. No, let us be sincere to ourselves. Let us be truthful to ourselves. You said with your mouth that you send the children to follow, to show this woman where they are selling Indomie. One, you that is a cripple, how come someone is asking you to show them where they are selling Indomie? You that is a cripple.
Okay, so based on what the lion killer has said, I want you to tell me what you think first. Pause this video and let me know what you think. What's your response to what Kassy has just said concerning the issue of baby testimony and the allegations or the findings or the reasons as to why he dropped out on the pursuit of justice for baby testimony? Please just pause this video and tell me what you think before you can comment on what I'll say. Okay, I hope you have given me your remarks because they're important. We need to break down each and every remark in accordance to the segment and what you would have listened to. So this is my response to Kassy. Listen, my brother, I'm going to be legit with you. You know, me, I'm that guy that calls a spade a spade. I'll never call a spade a farming tool. Nah, I'll call it a spade. My brother, you're afraid. That's just the truth. That's just the basic truth. You're afraid of Jeremiah Omoto for fame. The biggest mistake that you made was to get yourself involved. And I don't know if you miscalculated who you were going against, or if you miscalculated the capacity, the ability of Omoto for fame. Or because I also know you have a strong backing and backup of Johnson Suleman. These are two giants in Nigeria, Suleman, Omoto for fame. And they're always in a constant fight for territory after the demise of the biggest charlatan of Nigeria, TB Joshua. These are probably the two that are still yet to take that throne that was left by TB Joshua. So when you put two bulls in a cage, each bull has to prove a point. These are both two big cats in Nigeria. And Kassy bruised Omoto's ego. And Omoto is under the impression, I don't know if I should say he's under the impression, or by virtue of Kassy advocating for a case that goes against Jeremiah Omoto. The first thing Omoto would think, assume, or conclude is the father is aware of the behavior of his son. So these are two brothers on their own thrones. They've hosted functions together. And I believe they're still brothers, even though I'm also under the impression that the communication is not the same due to these kind of events that have unfolded because of Ruth Matthews' case. So when Kassy took on and was advocating and questioning Jeremiah Omoto to bring out the CCTV footage, when Kassy was calling out Jeremiah Omoto to say, if you be a prophet of God, why can't you prophesy? We have seen you prophesying in your church. Why can't you prophesy now and tell us where baby testimony is? Show us the CCTV footage. That's what he was advocating for at inception of this case. What he is saying now about Ruth telling different stories, come on, don't even pay attention to that. It's not important. Kassy himself knows that he's just saying that for something else, which has nothing to do with the case. The case is still valid. I've seen Kassy talking with confidence. Here, there's no confidence here. This is Kassy at his lowest level. I can tell when a man is scared, when a man is afraid. And my brother Kassy here is very afraid. He has reached the breaking point. You know, when someone reaches their breaking point, this is Kassy's breaking point. And he thinks that what he has done here will exonerate him from the pressure that he will get from Jeremiah Omoto. Before we get to that, what I was trying to emphasize here is when Kassy took on the case of Ruth Matthew, it kind of built a wager between Omoto and Suleman. Because Omoto will be questioning, if Suleman, you are my brother, why are you letting your son talk about me or advocate for this case that is putting my reputation in question? So automatically there will be some sort of discourse between these two, these two giants. Of course, Suleman might try to say, Kassy, stop this. Don't do it because it's going to affect my relationship with Omoto. Because one thing I can tell you is none of these two would want to have their relationship messed up. But Omoto now, he cannot hit Suleman. He can't go after Suleman. But he can go after Kassy. By virtue of Kassy being a son of Suleman, it's going to affect Suleman. And the reason why Omoto would want to prove a point to Suleman is because Omoto will be saying, why are you not stopping your son from from questioning me on digital platforms? In the other recent activity that happened, another recent scene that took place when Kassy was arrested. He was taken to a detention facility. And Suleman came through and then he pulled out Kassy out of the detainment on a weekend. Who gets pulled out on a weekend? During the weekend. It's always about proving power, you know. Who knows who's more connected? Who's more powerful? Who has more money? You understand? So it's a fight for territory. And showcasing who can outshine who. So when Suleman pulled out Kassy from the arrest, this was an L that was conceived by Omoto. So Omoto has no reason. Omoto has no choice but to show them that he can still get Kassy detained. He can still get Kassy arrested. He can still get Kassy thrown away. And he will put everything that he has on the table to make sure that Kassy goes down. These are billionaires. The billionaires. I'm a billionaire. So Omoto is now taking Kassy to court. And one thing that will never happen, Omoto will never take Kassy to court for the case of Ruth Matthew. He will never do that. Because this case is too sensitive. But remember, Kassy already has a pending case with Omoto. That very first time that he was arrested and he went to apologize to Jeremiah Omoto's church. When he went to make that apology, definitely there are documents that were signed. And now Omoto will use those documents to bring Kassy to court and get Kassy prosecuted for breaching whatever he might have signed when he made that apology to Omoto for fame. So now Omoto is coming in full force, high speed, to make sure that he takes Kassy down. So what can stop Omoto now? Omoto has to prove a point to Kassy, to both Kassy and his father. So the question is, how can Kassy get out of this? Kassy is caught up in between these two worlds. He's afraid of Omoto. And Suleman on the other side might not also want to keep on getting involved in this battle, because the more he gets involved, it will be like him sending a signal to Omoto that, okay, let's fight. And Suleman realizes that Kassy is not worth the wager between him and Omoto. So what's going to happen? Suleman will also get to a point where he will say, okay, it's worth letting this go. Let the boy just go to prison. I would rather just let the boy go to prison or be prosecuted. You get the semantics. You get the bigger picture. So Kassy, realizing that he's in a position whereby he can't get out of this, no matter what he can try to do. at the end of the day, Omoto will keep coming. And Omoto will not stop. So Kassy had to come and pat Omoto on the back. But the mistake he did was to use Sister Ruth, to use the case of Ruth Matthew, for him to vindicate himself, or for him to prove his allegiance, or for him to show how sorry he is to Omoto for fame. Because this case of Ruth Matthew is the only case that is more sensitive. This case of baby testimony is the most sensitive case to Jeremiah Omoto for fame. So what did Kassy do? He came and then he started saying, I dropped out because no, Ruth was not telling the truth. No, Ruth's statements were not in alignment. No, they know where the baby testimony is. Jeremiah Omoto is not responsible. They cannot be talking about Jeremiah Omoto being responsible of the missing child. That's in a way trying to exonerate Jeremiah Omoto from the case. That's in a way to try to say we can't accuse Omoto of being responsible of the missing child. That is coming from Kassy now, from his previous statements. That's what he's basically saying. That guys, stop attacking Omoto. He might not be responsible. The father of the child came and then he told us that the one who's responsible is Emmanuel Marcus. Why are we not focusing on Emmanuel Marcus? Why are we focusing on Omoto? That's what Kassy is doing. So that when Omoto comes across this video, you say, okay, the boy has come back to the party. He has come back to the table. And maybe Omoto will feel inclined to withdraw the charges that he has on Kassy. To get the bigger picture. But my brother Omoto, listen. Okay, let me start by advising my brother Kassy. Do the honorable thing. If you really feel like your back is against the wall, do the honorable thing. Don't use Ruth Matthew. Don't use the case of baby testimony. Don't change your mouth now. You said what you said already. The internet remembers. I could have played all the things that you said about Omoto, but I will not do that. But do the honorable thing. Don't involve Sister Ruth Matthew in your own thing or to try to clear your name to Omoto by using Sister Ruth Matthew. Come to your platform, do a video and apologize to Omoto as a man without implicating Sister Ruth Matthew. If you have wronged Omoto, come to your platform and apologize to him in your own personal capacity without hiding behind Sister Ruth Matthew. To say, no, Ruth Matthew, no, Omoto, do not let this one go. Don't let it slide. Kassy has to come and apologize to you if he wronged you. Now I'm on your side because Kassy has tried to use Sister Ruth Matthew's case to try to discredit. I told you before, people, do your things, but do not touch this case. This case is way too sensitive. Omoto, put all the pressure that you can. Bring Kassy to a point whereby he apologizes if he has to. If he doesn't, pursue this case, my brother. He will break. One thing I know is he will break. He's already on the verge of breaking. The way that he was talking, you can tell he's on the verge of breaking. And my brother Omoto, my brother from another mother. This is a chance for you to also allow Kassy to kind of vindicate you publicly. Do not take this sugar-coated apology. This is a sugar-coated apology that he just did to you. Make him come out clean and apologize for what you want him to apologize. Even write him a script and send it to him that on your broadcast, come and say this. We know, now we know, I know that you are not threatening him. You did not threaten him. You did not do anything. This one I'll side with you, Mr. Omoto, for fame. Let's allow Kassy to do the honorable thing. The last time he did an honorable thing when his scandals came on air, this is another time for him to do an honorable thing by coming to apologize to Omoto for fame. Instead of him using Sister Ruth Matthew. And my brother Kassy, this is the time for you to come and apologize to brother Omoto for fame. You have to do it, my brother. And we know you're not threatened. There's no threat that came from Omoto's side here. Let's not accuse Omoto for everything. Here, you are not threatened. Just come and apologize and fix your own thing with Omoto, but don't involve Sister Ruth Matthew. That's where I come in. I'm only coming in because you mentioned Sister Ruth Matthew. Had you done that interview with Dada and you made it clear to Dada that, listen, I can't talk about Omoto for fame because I just don't think I have enough information, or I just don't think I'm still in the same mental state or emotional state to be fighting for the missing child. I could not even have done this video. I could not even have encouraged Omoto to pursue the charges that he has on you. I could not. But you used Sister Ruth Matthews' case, my brother. And for that, you have to do the right thing. Apologize to the brother. If the things that you said were not factual, if you can't defend the things that you came to the public and say against Omoto, this is the time for you to make that apology. But don't use Sister Ruth Matthew. And Omoto, until you get... Omoto, I also want to test your power on this case that you have with Kassy, with Apostle Dr. Kassy, the lion killer. Akarao. Aho. What does he say? Something like that. Water. It's the year of water. It's the month of water.
I don't want peace. I want problems always.
Omomo, this time around, give Kassy water. Yeah, let him come and apologize to you. He has to. And I'll be waiting for that video so that I can also share it here to say, okay, Kassy has finally apologized to Omoto for fame. If Kassy does not apologize, because if Omoto accepts this sugar-coated apology, I'll also start thinking that Omoto is weak. That's what I'll start thinking. Let's show love to one another. And let's always do the right thing. Like what Kassy is about to do. I will see. We'll wait and see. Hi, people, you can do all your damage controls, ne? Or you can clear your names from Omoto for fame, but don't use Sister Ruth Matthew as a mopping, what do you call it? Whatever. Don't mop your mess with Sister Ruth Matthew or with this case of baby testimony. Don't do it. Do not do it. So with that being said, that was my analysis on the video that Kassy did, or on the response of Kassy. Nah, he's talking about Sister Ruth Matthew having changed their statements. There's no truth. He even said, no, me, I'm a man of integrity. I don't want people that lie. Aye, Baba. Come on. Slow down. Apologize to Owomomo and stop talking about Sister Ruth Matthew yet. Say Ruth was this, Ruth was that. So with that being said, on the next episode, the episode that I was actually supposed to do here, it was concerning the pictures and the profile, about, forget about this one. The main issue now. I was supposed to be talking about, but I'm going to do another video about the pictures that I recently posted. The video that I did of the pictures of the profile of the alleged parents of baby testimony. I've received so much information, and I've also done a lot of research concerning the possibility of people editing pictures on their Facebook profiles, of editing and manipulating the dates. Like I can post a picture today and I can backdate it to 2016. I can backdate it to 2012. I can even add pictures to that post, recent pictures, and they will look like they were updated in 2016. Quite interesting, isn't it? Once we have proven this, then it will mean that child really needs a DNA test. We need that DNA test to find out if that child is not baby testimony. Like I told you, I appreciate you people for all your input and everything that you are adding to this conversation. I'm taking note of it. Always leave it in the comment section. It's helping a lot. We'll figure this whole thing out together. We'll put all the puzzle pieces together. And then we will definitely, certainly get victory and justice for baby testimony. With that being said, don't forget to subscribe, to like. Always keep on liking. Liking is good. It increases and manipulates as well the algorithm. It spreads the message. It makes the video visible to other people who might not have had the opportunity to watch this video. And also share. Don't forget to share, man. Take part in this movement, in this initiative, so that this message reaches across to so many people. Always do something. Don't just come and listen and go. Do something. Engage. Make a contribution. So I'll check you again on the next episode of the Enlightenment series. It's Mr. Pull the Trigger. I'm out.